Good morning, I hope everybody's okay. What I'm going to share with you today are 4 very lovely leather bags that I have found from Tkmaxx in the last 13 months. 13? No, make that 15 months. That are mid to higher end, high street, lower end. They're basically lower end Italian and British bags by Paul Costello and Laura Di Maggio, who is an Italian designer. The reason I wanted to make this bag is I wanted to show that you can find lovely affordable bags in leather that don't have to cost the earth, and you don't have to buy something that may look like something else, or that you go and get a fake of something, whatever. And before I get anybody go, oh, fakes, if you want to go buy fake stuff, I'm not going to judge you. However, one thing that I did watch recently, I watched a YouTuber who had bought a load of replica counterfeit bags at a market. Again, no qualms personally. I know their impact on the industry. I know a lot of people feel very strongly about this. I neither encourage nor discourage. I choose to remain neutral. However, they made a statement that did irritate me, which was, I prefer to buy bags that are made of plastic as opposed to leather because I'm vegetarian and because of the impact on the environment through leather production. Now, I'm not gonna, again, deny that there is any kind of production impact with how leather is produced, which is why a large majority of the bags that I own are second-hand and vintage. It was more the fact that they said that production of plastic leather, faux leather bags is more environmentally friendly. Unless you're buying something that has a design and production process that is designed to be ecologically and environmentally friendly, no offense, but you're buying a cheap plastic rip-off bag that isn't going to be any friendlier produced than any one of these leather bags. These are all brought out of my local Tkmaxx, and my most recent one is this, that one, and that one was purchased this year. That was purchased last year. So I'm going to go through all of these, and I'm going to talk you through. So we'll start with this little one. And we're just going to slide that on over there. So this is the Paul Costello Gia Mini bag, crossbody. The colour's not showing up brilliantly on camera, but it's actually a really pretty pale bluish grey, almost like a duck egg. Robin's egg. It's a really lovely little bag. Pop it open. It's got a front pocket. It's got a tiny front pocket. Top, again, internal pocket. It's got it's got a zip pocket, another internal pocket, and it's got a good space. It's not the biggest bag in the world, but if you're like me and only generally tend to carry like a purse, your phone, your keys, it's perfect. If I'm going to the gym, not so perfect, but I fell in love with this bag because of the colour. I found this in the clearance section of Tkmaxx in March of last year for £27. It is a beautiful bag. It's got lovely leather quality, and I really enjoy this bag for 2 reasons. The only downside is you can't take the strap off. The strap is sewn to the bag, but I love the fact it's got these gorgeous top handles. I can comfortably wear, I'm 163 centimeters in height. I can comfortably wear this crossbody, no problems. You can see the length of the strap is adjustable, but the main thing I love about it is that it's this really pretty, not quite blue, not quite grey colour, and I thought that was really unusual. I've not personally come across Paul Costello prior to purchasing this particular bag. I recognised the logo, but I didn't actually know the brand name, because I know Paul Costello, if I'm correct, does shirts. And someone that used to have a ghost outlet also dealt with shirts. So I recognised the little fox logo straight away, but I didn't know that was the name of the brand. But this was a purchase made last year. I've used this a lot since I purchased it. And I think £27 in comparison to its retail is over £100. I know that, but it's a beautiful bag. It's got beautiful edging finishes, and I really just enjoy using this bag. It goes with a lot of everything. I can throw it over the crook of my arm, I can hold it in my hand, or I can carry it on my shoulder or crossbody. And that is what I like when it comes to my bags, is versatility on how I can wear them. And I think for £27 cost per wear, it has been amazing. So I've rather thoroughly enjoyed having this bag, and I will continue to have this bag for a very long time. So I highly recommend this particular bag. They do a backpack version as well, which is really, really cool. And it's a lot bigger. But what I like about this bag is that it's small. It's not massively small. It's probably between, I don't know, close to 7 inches high. And about my hand width's about 7 inches, so it's about 7 by 7 thereabouts. Got a good depth, holds everything in. I really like this bag. And I stress this isn't a review, this is just alternatives, you know. What's great about Tkmaxx, and this isn't sponsored, I just really like Tkmaxx. What's great about Tkmaxx is if you have the patience, you really can find some amazing bargains. And this made me want more Paul Costello, but I haven't found any really lovely Paul Costello stuff that I've liked at a reasonable price since until yesterday, but I will come on to that. So, next up is this one. This is by Laura DiMaggio, and any eagle-eyed Gucci fans will recognise the shape, because Laura DiMaggio was this really amazing Italian brand who I found this in Tkmaxx in, I want to say February, in the clearance section. I got a voucher for Christmas and I just stumbled upon this bag. It was £24. It's Italian leather. It's a good shape. It's a good size. I know you can't see on the inside, but it's got a zipped pocket and then it's just one empty space. This is the same kind of shape and style as the Gucci Soho Disco, which I'm going to freely admit, I love the Gucci Soho Disco in terms of what it looks like. But personally, after having seen it in the flesh, I would have saved up. I would have gotten one. I wouldn't have gotten a replica. Not because I have anything against replicas, but just because I liked the bag a lot. I would have saved up and bought one secondhand. But I'll tell you what put me straight off is I saw somebody do a review, and one thing I loved about the Gucci Soho Disco was the fact that it's got this giant tassel. What I didn't like, upon finding out, is actually the giant tassel isn't decorative. The giant tassel is actually the zip. And I'm clumsy. I bash things, I catch things. And, well, I guarantee if I had ever had bought that bag, that lovely tassel would not have lasted me very long. But this bag has been really lovely. I've used this a lot in the 4 months I've had it. Nearly 4 months, as we've only just gotten into June. It's got lovely subtle gold hardware. It's got a long strap that, again, is adjustable. It's got pebbled leather. And you know, what I actually love about this over any other bag, and what did also put me off of the Gucci Soho, and it would be the same if it were a Chanel, I don't like the obvious branding, whereas this just says, made in Italy. And I love that about this. Just very simple, very basic, made in Italy. The leather is soft, it is really cool. This is a cheap Chartreuse coloured faux fur pom-pom that was £1 from Topshop that I've had for many years. I like to add these little bits. I don't often, but I like to add these little bits onto my bags when I'm wearing them from time to time, and then I take them off when I put the bags away. This bag and its sister bag, which is identical, I admit, they get stored with, I use this tissue paper, and one of the bags came with this enormous dust bag, so I store them in that together. But I really like this bag. Again, probably about 8 inches across, about 6 inches up. Great bag, good depth, fits a lot in, sits well cross-bodied, sits well on the shoulder, great leather, and it's just really nicely finished. It was a good bag, it was under £25, and what I really liked about the bag was just the simplicity of it. What I've actually done for this bag and for the other bag, which I will show you in a couple of minutes, is I've ordered a Chanel style chain strap that's in the same gold hardware where the leather goes through the chain, simply for the fact that I thought it would be a nice way to be able to keep wearing the bag, but to give it a different look. I did the same thing with a Topshop bag that I bought in 2017. It's a black satchel that came without the strap. I couldn't find a strap in the similar hardware. It's got a very distinctive black gunmetal grey hardware to it. And I found the strap and I thought, actually, I wouldn't mind ordering another one, just because I think it would switch up the look but still keep it simple. And that's what I really liked about it. So that is my Laura Di Maggio. And again, Tkmaxx, £24. Brilliant bag. I really, really am glad I invested in this one. Black piping. No corner wears. This bag is actually quite hardy. But then again, I say I'm really clumsy with my bags, and I admit I am. But when it comes to things like this, I don't put them on the floor. When I go to a restaurant and stuff, things don't go on the floor. They will go on the table with me. When I'm on a bus, it sits on my lap. When I'm at work, it sits on my desk. I don't tend to put my leather bags on the floor. I'm quite particular with them. And they're so small that it doesn't really intrude. This is my other Laura Di Maggio bag. Now, this one I've just taken out of the dust bag and de-stuffed. It's pretty much the exact same bag. The only difference is it has champagne gold piping on it. But it's exactly the same bag. Same strap, same hardware, same size, same made in Italy, no branding. But this one I found I think I found this one in March. And this one, again, in the clearance section. This one was only £19. But it's, again, really lovely little bag. And what I also like about these bags, if you wanted to, like, it could be, you could carry it like that as a little clutch. But also, if you wanted to have it as, say, like a wash bag or something when you go on holiday, it does 2 in 1, because the strap's small enough. I store the straps inside the zip pocket. But I keep, as I said, I keep them stuffed so they keep their shape. But this, you know, you could do multiple things. You could have it a small crossbody. You could use it as your wash bag or something like that on holiday. And it's great. So you've got a handbag and you can have it as a general bag. And that's why I like them, I must admit. It's got the leather quality. I can't stress enough how good the quality of the leather is. It is fantastic. So that is my second Laura Di Maggio bag. I must admit, because I've been using the other one so much, this one hasn't yet had any love. But I think it's really cool. And I'm going to wear this one when I get my new chain through. So to just work it out a bit. And last but not least is my latest acquisition. This is... I found this yesterday, purely by accident. As I showed you with my Gia bag from Paul Costello, I've been looking for another Paul Costello bag, but I've also been looking for a large black leather backpack. Normally, I carry around a backpack that is black and covered in skull and crossbone print. It is actually a kid's backpack from the school section, I think, of Mountain Warehouse many moons ago. I tend to use it when I'm travelling on my husband's motorbike, or if I'm going to the gym, or stuff like that. And it's a great bag, but the problem is it is actually designed as a school bag, so it's that little bit big, and if you put too much in it, it does tend to get pretty heavy. And I wanted something that was leather that I can use every day. I do have a little black backpack that's probably about 2/3 of the size of this, and it's a mixture of leather and fabric. It's something from the early noughties that I found in a charity shop, and I've had for about 4 years, and it's really, really good. You know, it holds a lot of stuff, and it's good from day to day, but I can't, like, put gym stuff in it. And I started going to the gym last year. And I must admit, for days when I'm going to the gym, I do struggle to have a nice bag and go to the gym. And I think this has potentially answered all of my woes. So it's not very deep in terms of across width, but I like this bag. It's got a similar leather to my Laura DiMaggio bags. It's a pebbled leather as opposed to a smooth leather like my Gia bag. But I really, really like this. This was in Tkmaxx yesterday. It was £48, reduced from £59. I could have held out and hoped if I went back it would have gone down in cost next week, but I like it. And the thing with Tkmaxx is it's very rare that you see something, fall in love with it, and know it's going to be there when you go back next. I've only had that happen twice in the last couple of years, and that was last year. I found a diesel flamingo jumper with two like David Bowie style David Bowie style, like with the lightning flamingos over a heart in grey, and I got it for £12 instead of £35. I found the same flamingo jumper again, but all in black and greys, and it doesn't really work because you need the colour for the flamingo print to pop. And also a grey unicorn print jumper that I saw, fell in love with, found in the clearance and thought, oh my god, because I'd forgotten about it. But I know Tkmaxx is either a love or a hate relationship with some people. Some people really have to trawl to find something that they like. Whereas, and I think this only comes from having worked in retail for a couple of years, whilst I was at university many years ago. You know, when you have to find things very quickly for people and you're running around and you learn to spot things straight away if something's off out of the rack in the wrong place. And those skills kind of come in real handy when you're trawling places like Tkmaxx or sales sections, etc. Just for the fact that you learn to find things that you really like and you spot things straight away. And it's pretty good. But anyway, I digress. So this is, I think, called the Valerio backpack. I'm going to just do that. I really like this backpack because it's got lots of cubby holes. So you've got zip pocket at the back. And at the front here, you've got two further pockets for like your phone and something else. You've got the Paul Costello logo in the lining. Same in my Gia bag. And it's two straps. And now you've seen my pyjamas. Huzzah. And top handle. And this is going to be great. I can put my gym stuff in it. I can put my change of clothes. And I can be gone. And if I'm going somewhere and I've been to the gym in the morning, because usually I go to the gym before work, I can have a nice bag and I don't have to worry about leaving my gym gear at work. And having a nice bag, it means I can have a nice bag and still have my gym stuff with me, which is a bit of a win-win. And to be honest with you, it is quite a large backpack. It's probably about 12 inches in height and probably about 8 inches across. It's a good little bag. I'm really pleased. It is more than I would normally pay for a bag. Because I think the most I've ever paid for a leather bag that was either vintage, bar my Furler bag, the most I've ever paid is £50 for a vintage satchel backpack. But this was £2 shy of that yesterday. But you know what? I think cost for wear, and given how often I use my backpack already, I think this will easily, cost per wear will wear itself out. But on the back of that, what I wanted to stress is I don't blog or buy things in the same way a lot of people do. I don't buy things to test new trends. I don't buy things because, it's shiny, I've got to have it. I buy things because I usually have a need. I love handbags. I love backpacks. I like clothes. I like accessories. I like shopping, I'm not going to lie. But one thing that I have found over the last few years is I have tried to buy with more thought in what I purchase. I'm as guilty as anybody else who started blogging back in 2010. I used to buy a lot of very trend-driven items. I used to not really think about it. I used to buy a lot of secondhand stuff anyway, but because I'd gone into a job that required that you dress business casual, the way that I dressed had to change because, I was used to living in jeans and a t-shirt because I worked in retail with a set uniform. It was the first time I got to work somewhere that didn't require that. And learning what I liked and what I wanted because I'd finished university and etc, etc, etc. But a lot of that tailed off within a couple of years because, you know, I was buying so many things, I wasn't wearing them, or I'd wear them a couple of times and I'd get bored, I'd sell them on. And it's not really a good way to live your life because you're constantly buying things. You're not really appreciating the value of what you're buying or how many times you're wearing them. And you know what? I can be guilty of the same thing when I've bought stuff from charity shops or when I've bought vintage dresses. However, the difference between buying them straight from the shop and buying secondhand is they already exist. They haven't been made to fill a void in the market, and I'm recycling something. Though the ethos of shopping for the sake of shopping is something that I have dialed down a hell of a lot. And I try and take more care in the things that I buy. I'm not being preachy. If you want to go buy fast fashion, you want to go do trends, that's up to you. I just chose to... I like things that have a bit of a history to them. I enjoy things that have lived a life with somebody else already. I would rather repair stuff than just throw it out. And if worst case scenario, it can't be repaired, saved, dyed, whatever, it gets used as rags. So that way it's still recycled. Any clothing that I don't like anymore is sold or donated. And just generally I've tried to be a bit more conscious in the way that I buy things as opposed to just buying things for the sake of buying things. And, you know, I've always had the ethos of shopping in sale sections, so things were a lot cheaper rather than just going out and buying the most expensive thing. And I've always had an eye for a bargain. That is just the way I am. You know, when I was at college, I used to buy a lot of my clothes I used to mix Primark with a lot of charity shop stuff. So it really just depends on what you want. But I would encourage people to think a bit more about what they buy. You know, I mean, I'll give you a good example. I really, really wanted one of those really cute wicker and leather bags that everybody has had. Though, in my experience, I've had a raffia bag before. It didn't last very long because I tend to carry a lot of heavy stuff and the weight of it just kind of falls apart. But I really, really like the idea of a beautiful structured bag. But I don't want a new one. So I've, by sheer accident, found a vintage one and I was lucky enough to win it. And it's on its way to me. So if you are looking for something that's trendy, see if you can find a vintage or an alternative in a secondhand shop, or see if one from a previous season is available on eBay. You know, you could dye it, you could customize it, you can do whatever to get it done. But I would encourage people to think. And if you are vegan or vegetarian and you're looking for non-leather alternatives, fair enough. But try and see if you can find ones that are produced in an environmentally friendly way, as opposed to just going, well, you know, it's an alternative to leather, therefore it's automatically better. Because it's not. I know that these have damaged the environment, but as I've said in multiple videos, the vast majority of my bags are second hand, and they already exist, so I can't really feel bad for something that already exists, because it's just recycling. Anyway, have a good day. See you later.